Those of us on a spiritual journey have known for a while that the world is changing, it's evolving. It's kind of like waiting for others to catch up. I had signs last year that sort of March was a pivotal part of my journey. And I recognized throughout my journey, my spiritual development, that the moon cycles have huge bearings. It's kind of like when manifestations seem to get revealed, really, and life changes. I'm having a lot of synchronicities at the moment, as I always do, and a lot of videos have just come up recently to confirm what I internally think and believe. I'm not sharing synchronicities anymore. I don't share them to validate anything. I share them to open people's eyes to it, and I've done enough of that now that I don't feel a need to just sort of share that. So a lot's going on at the moment. I've not kept up with it entirely, but I know there's an eclipse coming. I think April the 8th is supposed to be, I think, a huge moment. And I'm seeing a lot of content about the sun. Is some weirdness with the sun at the moment. The sun rays, the alignment of it. And to be honest, that just confirms into other parts of the journey. Like where I say this is a pivotal period. I think April 8th is going to be transformative because 2024. What I learned last year was 2024 was a big year. It was kind of like the shine a light on the darkness, and it's the year for that change to occur. So those of light will replace those in the dark. And I'm often talking in my own journey. I'm often talking about like negative influencers, these YouTubers, these ones that just take off people. They're not role models, and what they're doing, they're inspiring a generation to be fake, be over the top, not yourself, expect everything for free, expect everybody just to give to you because it's a rat race, and it's not right. I don't like it. It's not content I enjoy, and I can see them being replaced. They'll have their downfall, and they'll have no ways to make it to return because they're not doing it on pure talent. They're not doing it on anything other than just to take up other people, and they'll be replaced. But then we're seeing the corruption within Hollywood, especially like Hollywood in the movies and the music industry. So a lot of things are coming to light. So we knew this like a year or so ago. These sort of things would happen. You didn't know how exactly they'd happen, but they were going to happen. And then it's all just coming to the surface. You get the news reports early on, and then you get the theories, and then all of a sudden you get everything happening. So at the moment it's P. Diddy. I don't get on bandwagons. I'm not interested in sort of like using someone's name for clout. I'm just making it out there that's what's currently going on. And I'm going to leave it there, really, because I think people do sort of delve into the news of it all rather than me sort of go too far. But again, it's just tip of the iceberg because we know there's players that are higher up that control, they're puppet masters. But the universe is watching. We are souls having human experience, and people need to wrap their heads around that because when you figure that out, you realize that there's more of a divine orchestra to what is happening. Some people don't understand why there's such negativity, but it's polarizing. You have to have negative and positive, light and dark, To find empathy and forgiveness and compassion, you have to have the negative moments to allow you to feel that and find that within yourself, So there's a reason for both sides to exist. The trouble is throughout all of Earth, all of humanity, throughout history, the dark has controlled this planet. Not all of our souls come from Earth. That's the thing. We haven't only had an Earth experience. We've been from different star systems, different universes. Some of us are incredibly light beings. You wouldn't have been a light being on Earth because Earth is too heavy and dense. So it's really hard for many of us to navigate this planet. But some of us are wise enough and we have a deeper connection to spirit that we can figure it out. And we can overcome and transcend the circumstances. So light is starting to prevail because there's many of us here now to change this planet onto a new timeline, a new trajectory. I'm seeing things with like, even in war is crazy, but that's the dark trying to latch on really and control this planet and suppress us and scare the shit out of us, to be honest. I'm not scared of nuclear war. A lot of people are terrified of it. I know spirit won't allow it. We're here to heal this planet, not destroy it. Spirit just will not allow the planet to completely destroy itself because it's not our planet to destroy. That's what people need to get out of their head. One dictator or one person in power is not powerful enough against spirit. They cannot. They're not. They're having a human. They're just humans. Of course, you're going to have negative entities who maybe they're the puppet masters. They have eternal. I'm not going to go too deep in that direction because we can start going conspiracy theories. But yeah, if you look at recently, I think the UK had an issue where one of their launches failed. I think Russia had something similar. I think even North Korea had something that went wrong as well. And that's what will happen. Things will just go wrong. They're not going to allow it. So it depends on your level of faith. I have absolute faith in my journey and the experience we're having. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, so I say the world is changing. I know I will have my opportunity when the time comes because I am a being of light. I'm here to fulfill a purpose, and I'm just more interested in fulfilling that rather than anything else. Whatever comes along is part of the divine plan. So I'm getting a lot of signs about opportunities, but the thing with me is I'm not really a follower. I don't really follow. I lead myself. It's not about leading others. I always lead myself. And I think that's what people need to be doing. So you can outgrow people, you can outgrow situations. It's always be in alignment with yourself. And then the thing is, you can't then be coerced. And that's the trouble. You've got all these people in positions of power. They are puppet masters. But to be a puppet master, you have to have puppets. That means people that can be manipulated, people that can be coerced, people can effectively be bought and controlled. That's where the difference lies within me. I beat to my own drum. I'm always guided by spirit. So I'm not really going to allow someone to have that level of control over me because I just won't allow it. I'd rather be poor and free, and that's it. So it'd have to take great opportunities, really, and sincere opportunities for me to align. But anyway, I'm getting a lot of signs that I'm going to meet people who are on a similar frequency to me who will want to collaborate. There'll be opportunities and some beautiful things happen. And it does say as well that I might feel not good enough because we all have a level of insecurity within ourselves. Are you experienced enough? Have you done this long enough? Have you done that? But the way I live my life is I'm always just me. And if someone's interested in me for me and an opportunity comes from that, then I can only ever be myself, can't I? I share my weaknesses and I share my strengths. And I'm not afraid of either, So it's a case of if something's new, I'll admit this is new. If I haven't done that before, I haven't done this before, but let's give it a go. Let's see how we get on. I'm a quick learner. My intentions are always pure. But I think that's the way this world is going to change. It's going to be that those sort of people are going to start getting into the spotlight because it's not saying it for effect. It's not saying it to achieve this. I'm more than happy to continue in my own path and my own lane. I can create anything from nothing. I'm more than happy just to keep writing my books, do my audio books, evolve my podcast. That's success to me. If bigger opportunities come, great. But I don't need to leap at bad offers or manipulated situations to create my legacy because I'm already creating my own. And I think that's where the integrity comes from because you're not doing it for anything else other than to uplift people, But I think too many people, they have done some dodgy shit, The corruption has been rife where people have just been all out for themselves at any costs. And I just don't understand that. But the world's changing. So I have faith that the world is changing. I'm going to share a couple of videos because I can't remember which ones resonated from yesterday now. Let's try this one.
You would be surprised to know how positive and powerful your reputation really is. You've got the streets talking, okay? And they're saying that they find you alluring, mysterious, and sexy. That they think that you're kind of a popular loner, is giving like local celeb energy, that you're private, but that you have this like huge star energy where you attract in a lot of people. You're very magnetic without even really trying, okay?
A nightmare. A large number.
So here I am thinking that the messages are done for the day. Try to start my work.
Let's skip a little bit on this.
Anymore. It will be based off of longevity. So, for instance, say you're someone who gets famous overnight, not ready for it, right? But your life ends up going to trash, and you were famous though, and people are like, "Oh my God, that person's so cool!" Like popping off for a minute. Like that stuff is no more. What is the current shift is that it's about longevity. It doesn't mean that you can't have that instantaneous manifestation, right? If that's what you're looking for. But it's about longevity over time. And people are looking for quality, okay, over quickness. They're looking for, is this going to sustain energetically with me? Is this going to make me feel something? And that's such a good shift to be in.
Let me draw some uncomfortable dots and ruin your night. Before we start, this is all speculation. This guy right here is Epic Paranormal. He was at a Lana Del Rey concert, and he said that his phone was glitching, and every picture it would take would make the people look like a straight up demon, right? Well, I'm gonna show you that first, but when I saw that, it reminded me of something very, very, very particular.
Camera kept glitching.
Your camera was not glitching, my friend. Those are real life demons. Whether they are possessed or just straight up a demon, that's exactly what we're looking like. You remember the movie They Live? My man.
Let's see what we got going.
I don't want to go too deep into that, but I believe things like this are going to start occurring. Because we've spoken about it before, the dark is going to be brought to light. So effectively, we'll be able to see this. Because there's been talk anyway, I think Dolores Cannon said this, about there's going to be a shift between the old Earth and the new Earth. Some will be left behind and some will go on to the new vibration, the new timelines. And that's how I see the shift occurring. You know, the light will, I don't want to big myself up, but I feel like I'm 41. I don't know if I look 41, but I think I've got a youthful energy to myself. And I think the negative entities, the people that are demonic effectively, or have negative intent, I think you're going to recognize they're going to age quicker than the others. I've seen some transformations. There's a guy named David Copeland, I think his name is. I don't mind calling people out because this guy seems creepy as shit. And when I started my journey back in my spiritual journey in 2020, he was one of the videos I saw early on when I was talking about the spiritual journey. And then I was getting signs from spirit of negative people. He is evil. That's pure evil, that guy. He has ridiculous vast amount of wealth at the expense of others, under the false pretense of religion. But he got angry at this reporter, and it was the level of anger he got immediately when he was questioned on something. But I noticed something else. His face changed quick, like it went demonic. But what the biggest thing I recognized was his skin color changed. It went from normal skin to a very dark color. His hand, everything changed. That is a very negative. That is a very demonic person, in my opinion. You got to be careful of that because that exists at what levels, you know. I am not worried about saying things like that. I'm not scared of demonic shit. It's like, you know, that exists, but we're light beings. So the war, effectively, it's going to be a war between the light and the dark, and I'm a light warrior. So I can't really be tainted and manipulated by these cretins. But anyway, when I say cretins, they are powerful. So I don't know what I'm going with this one. This is more of a tarot reading. I don't really need to show the tarots.
Let me draw.
So he did that one, and I've got some more on this as well. So this is nice. Again, I said about light beings. Again, I had angel numbers around this one. I think I had 111 with this, but again, I can't be bothered to keep doing screenshots anymore. Archangel Michael and company are heavily surrounding you. Something huge coming in. Congratulations for you're surrounded by your angels. What am I talking about? I'm getting goosebumps now. We're here for a purpose, baby.
What's an experience?
This was a really nice speech. Effectively, rather than take all the time to see it, he's saying about he didn't believe in himself. He had anxiety. He had low self-esteem. But the character that he was going to portray in Game of Thrones was exactly that character, and that's what the casting director and the producer and everything. That's what they was all looking for. That exact character, who was him. So it's like just be yourself all the time because there'll be someone that needs that person, you know. So yeah, beautiful message. So this one effectively is I've done all the work. I'm in a bit of a crisis financially. My life is a bit hard, but you know what? I don't believe in the call. I don't lose faith in the calls. I get fed up at times, of course, because we're living in a very low vibrational existence when we're vibrating high. So it's very hard to blend between the two.
Here's another reading. Pathway, courtship, adjudication.
I can't believe that one. This one seems dodgy as shit. So you've got the Epstein Island, and you've got the shape of that is exactly the same as Nickelodeon. And then someone put in the comments that Nickelodeon in another language. Look up what Nickelodeon means in Hebrew. I can't remember what they said. There was a name for it. It was said "don't believe" or something. Don't know. Look it up. But again, that's just wild, isn't it? The shape of freaking Epstein Island is the same as the freaking Nickelodeon thing. And then you've got a lot of things going on at the moment with the dodgy producer who's been... I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on right now. You're being pushed to the forefront. It's envy. It's always going to be envy.
So I woke up.
Someone is about to step in.
Stepping into purpose. Blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. So nice opportunities, but whatever happens, happens. Whatever doesn't. You know, not much you can do about it.
This is 100% for my manifesting princess. Creative energy right now. Anything that you touch pretty much turns to gold. Is the vibe that your energy, your energetic field is much larger than most people, and so it feel like it can be felt from across the world. Really.
That's nice.
Your manifestations are still coming in. In fact, they're coming in quicker than ever before, okay? Literally, I feel like some of you guys have been manifesting money.
The thing is, many of us have been on a huge, deep spiritual journey, healing journey, self-development, self-discovery, with very little reward. Effectively, spirit holds us back sometimes to teach us lessons and see more of the world, see more of what's going on around us. But what I actually believe as well is sometimes the time isn't right for us to proceed forward. I get signs that I've been hidden in plain sight. So effectively, while I've been hidden, it's keep working on refining me. I've been working on my books, for instance, with no one able to sort of sabotage them or get in the way of me finishing them. And I believe there's a reason for that. So when it's my time to shine, I have a body of work there anyway. But I'm also the most confident version I can be. So when you're thrust into the limelight, you're ready. You know, it's prepared for that moment. So when you look at society at the moment and the way everything's getting destabilized, all the corruption, all the just everything that's bad and dark is getting brought to the surface. Now, once that comes out and then these influencers change because no one's interested in this bling shit anymore, where people just keep flaunting their cars, their money, their lifestyles. We're not interested. That doesn't impress anybody. Who cares about that? It's superficial shit. Again, people are getting fed up with that. Now they're going to be more interested in uplifting themselves and actually feel fulfilled and happy. They're going to just want to be fulfilled and go after their sort of dreams and be inspired, really. That's what they're going to rather be inspired than having stuff flaunted at them. And again, my content what I do would be no use to these because I'm not interested in that flaunting lifestyle with the fancy cars and all that shit. It doesn't impress me. So it's only when people catch up can my content be relevant, if you like. So it makes sense. So then your manifestations coming in quick because the world's changing now.
Possibly more money within a job, like more prosperity coming into your life, and it is coming in, and it's coming in quick.
Everybody needs a little.
This made me laugh. I'm only showing a few videos, but this is Tom Holland. But it's like no care given. It's like just live your best life. Don't care about embarrassing what people think. It's like be yourself. Just enjoy yourself. I loved it. It's awesome. I get a lot of love songs as well, and usually that's a sign of a manifestation coming in as well.
Here are 4 signs that you are holding a high vibrational frequency. Number 1.
Fight and you may die. Run.
Again, I get a lot of signs from the universe. This is all the ones I've liked. So these are videos I've liked. They have different contexts and things. But this is more about, obviously, just be yourself. Fight for your rights. Don't be suppressed. Fight for your freedom. Because, you know, you might lose. But what's the point of living to 80 and being suppressed the whole time? You know, risk it all for your happiness now.
And you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
I had used huge goosebumps there because, like I said at the beginning, is like some of us are here for this absolute purpose. That's why we was brought to here to have this experience, and it was to liberate this planet, free it, give the world its freedom back. Finally, it's going to take a lot of sacrifice to get there. Some people won't believe. Some people be skeptical. But I just say watch the following years and see how the world starts to change. Because, and I said this in my books, the negativity was always going to react very loud. When light is winning and the transformation is occurring, they'll do everything they can to latch on to what they can to exert some level of control. It's like a Hail Mary. Like they just want to. That's why the wars are happening. That is dictators trying to cling to power. So they're trying to scare the hell out of people to suppress them, so you don't start fighting. Like, I don't want to say the word fighting back, but start shining your light to stop you from believing in yourself, to stop you, to suppress you pretty much from being free to decide your own fates, decide your own future. Decide how you want to live. So you're going to have people that are going to cling to power and they're going to suppress your rights and everything. Even if you just look at this TikTok ban that's been going on, there's so much going on, the level of suppression. But just keep believing in yourself, keep speaking up, keep shining that light, because it takes that to bring out that change. But I can see the change in the future. This is just a temporary situation. And I talk about this too, and I think it can upset a few people. But I believe all of us come here with a soul contract. We all come here for soul mission. And effectively, our deaths are pre-designed. We would have agreed to these before we come here. This is the experience I want to have in this life. This is what I want to achieve. These are the difficulties I'm going to overcome. And this is how I want to end. Let's say, for instance, every lifetime you died in your sleep. Maybe before you come this time, you go, I want to go with a bit of a bang this time. I want it to be a bit exciting. I'm not saying that's fun. I'm not saying that's exciting, but it's different who are we to decide and who are we to judge? It's just whatever the universe needed from us. We can get to the 80 years old, but what does that do? If you live a serene, a sedated life all the way from birth to 80, you didn't really impact the world. You just existed. It seems rather pointless to me, to be honest. It's like either way, you're going to die. So to fear death is to miss out on life and not understand life itself. It's inevitable. You're going to have to make peace with that. So it's like, make life matter, give it meaning. Stop being scared of speaking up. Stop being scared of being yourself. You've got nothing to lose. It's just you haven't got anything to lose because our time comes anyway. You've got to get out of that fear-mongering mindset, I think. And understand there's a purpose to our life, and it's like get into alignment with that.
We wrote this beautiful song together.
Oh, I love this song, but I'm not going to get into it.
I've been a producer at TMZ for the past 10 years or so, and I've noticed...
So I like this. Again, this is talking about how the influences are changing. Again, what I've been talking about for so long. And now an entertainment producer is actually talking about it.
There's a huge change in the way people perceive celebrities, and I'm curious if you feel this way as well. I think people no longer think it's like cool to see celebrities like showing off all their like expensive ass shit. Like, it's now cringe, I feel like, for celebrities to like boast about their big ass like kitchen, and like Kim K posts her enormous like bathroom and stuff. I don't think people...
So yeah, I think, to be honest, I think most people watching it will actually agree, because we're fed up with this shit. It's not relatable anymore. Like, it isn't. Before, you looked up to them like they're something, they're icons. Now you sort of, if you met them, do you really care? And I think that's where we've got to. We don't look at them in the same way we used to. We used to be inspired by them. Now you're looking at them thinking, I wouldn't trade my life for them. I'd want them. Maybe you want the money, maybe you want the luxuries, but would I want to live how they live? Would I want to be them? No chance, because they're chaotic. They've got no morals. Why would I want to change myself from someone who has morals, has integrity, and is authentic? So I know myself inside and out. I have a lot of respect for myself, which gives me confidence, of course, because when you can appreciate your negatives and positives, you become your best state of being. Why would I replace that with someone who's shallow, empty, just because they have superficial stuff? It's like, that's not fulfilling, because you can see it's not fulfilling. That's why they're crazy. So I'm not looking up to them as role models. It's just they had an opportunity. Yeah.
The pressure that you experienced that made you into the diamond that you are right now, those who were applying that pressure to you they would have been crushed under the weight of what you experienced. And there's some people who are starting to really recognize that now. They're recognizing that what they perceived to be weakness on your part was actually you being in a state of surrender, because you knew that better days were ahead. And you knew that if you could just trust yourself, that layer after layer would be peeled away. And if you stayed consistent and dedicated, you were going to align with that authentic version of yourself and free yourself from that mental prison that was previously holding you back.
I mean, what's worth saying from that is, if you just look at the collection of books I have at the bottom here, I've been judged heavily on my journey, especially when I was writing the first book. Everybody's thinking you're lazy, they're judging you, they don't know what you're doing. Most people don't know what you're doing in your personal life. They will judge on the outside. So it's not caring about any of that anymore. You don't have to explain yourself. I'm done explaining myself to people. I was thinking of my sister recently, to be honest, because I left a job to pursue my dreams. It's just to be myself and purify all myself, you know. I don't need that shit no more. I don't want to be that person. I'm just going to keep vibrating high, and I'm going to align with my destiny pretty much, you know. I'm just going to do me. And the problem is those around you will say, oh, because I can see how it'll play out. She'll say, how's it going at work? How's it going there? Oh, I left. Oh, why'd you leave? Oh, it was toxic. I didn't. What are you doing next? And all these questions, all this judging. Every question's a judgment, and it's like, I don't need that shit. So I would just say, I'm done explaining myself. I left because I had my reasons, and I'm living my life based on how I want it. I'm not going to validate to sort of appease anybody and allow people to just judge. Just you focus on your life. I focus on mine. Now, from that perspective, they will think up myself. He thinks he's better. He doesn't care. Or he's reckless. All that is judgment. All that is someone's judgment, isn't it? Because people see life as a soap opera. They're too involved in each other's lives. Effectively, they're involved in your life to validate their own. It's a comparison all the time. And I'm done with that shit. I don't have to validate. So from that point, I'm not sharing my experiences to validate anything. I'm just sharing my experiences to show people what I've been through and how I got there. So like this lady's saying, you know, you shedded the layers, you keep refining yourself, and your people are getting shocked along your journey. They didn't realize, but I always had the vision. So if you have a vision in your mind and you keep striving towards the goals and your dreams, anything is possible. Like I said, obviously when you do books, you start with one. It starts with a blank page. You create something. So all of my books have been an evolution of my journey. So you've got A Father's Daughter was me going through family court. It's enduring the hell of that. That was traumatizing, emotional. I was a mess at the beginning of family court. I started getting stronger throughout family court. By the time when I was writing the book, I was in tears. I was in tears regularly. I had to stop writing. I was like very regular. I had to stop writing that book. Then when I read it back, it broke me. It was hard. I was literally in tears because I'm reliving a nightmare. You go through your biggest trauma, and then you document your trauma. And I've come across people who want to tell their stories, but they know it's going to break them to tell it, to write, even if just to go there. And it broke me. And then to actually read it again after it's broke you so many times, that's just as hard. But I did that, and it made me stronger for it, because it's almost like therapy. So it's actually worth digging into that, because you start to unravel things and heal yourself. So Heartbroken Daughter was, a lot of people wanted to hear the next story, what happened next, even though many people already knew because they're in my life. But I wrote that, and that was actually, you'll notice the tone within the books are different. I was very emotional writing A Father's Daughter. In A Heartbroken Daughter, I was far more stronger now. I'm more in fight mode. So it's far more me fighting back, if you like, against the oppression, against the people trying to control me all the time. So then Lose Your Mind to Find Your Soul is my spiritual book. So on a spiritual journey, I start to share my experiences, and I think it's beautiful, because that's what it's about, just sharing our experiences. Then I've gone on to write Heal Your Mind to Free Your Soul. And that was me realizing that I can help a lot of people try to find their way, trying to find that love of yourself. But I didn't want to push a spiritual journey on people. So I thought, I've got to find a way to help them without thrusting that onto them or forcing that, because I don't want to force a lifestyle, an ideal on anybody. And I think that will really help people. And again, after reading it, I was like, well, there's still more I can say here. Because I thought I'd finished, but I hadn't. So let's continue. And that's where Inspire Your Mind to Enlighten Your Soul comes in. So in unison, I think they're incredibly powerful and uplifting. And like I say, right now I've got more books. 2 are coming out this year. There'll be another one that follows on from Inspire Your Mind to Enlighten Your Soul. So that again, that's helping people overcome toxicity, hate, and sort of find themselves, find what fulfills them. Really like what I'm talking about now, like lately. And I've also got another spiritual book, which is going to be good because again, there's always so many topics to this, and I'm excited about that. These 2 are very far in development. I'll have these definitely out this year. Then I have a freedom and politics sort of book that I've written. I'm halfway through, and another in a father's daughter. So yeah, the layers are getting peeled, and I'm sharing that journey live, if you like. So every year so far, there's been a book since 2019. And that's just the way it's been. So effectively, people that are interested in my growth could follow the books and you'll see the trail. But yeah, let's continue.
You an addict? Yeah. And what is it you are addicted to? You an addict?
That's a really peaceful existence, isn't it? I like that. That made me happy. It's like people do have some nice homes.
You radiate success, and I keep channeling it's because you've been putting your inner child first, and you've also been mastering the art of detachment, okay? You're in this phase right now where you're just like, I'm releasing what I thought my life was supposed to look like right now, okay? And I keep channeling that this is bringing you deep inner peace. You're at this phase right now where you're also just making peace with yourself. You're making peace with your past, most importantly, okay? And I keep channeling that for so long, you've given others so much grace, patience, and compassion. And this is your season, this is your year to give yourself all of that. Okay, so
what's interesting is at the bottom, she's wrote there, which you can't see, and it says, "You were born to tell stories." And it's like, yeah, I've shared my story. But yeah, again, it's like I've put people first. I've always prioritized other people, especially when I was a bit younger. And now it's a case of I put myself first now. Once I started pumping that energy into myself, god damn, the progress has been incredible. So it's not about being sort of egotistical, arrogant, or like all out for yourself. It's more just the priority of self, though. Self-care, self-love, and just making me a priority in my life. You know, and then I can help when I have spare time, or if I feel it's worth my time, if beneficial. Not a case of I receive anything, but is it justifiable, you know? Because, again, once you go on your healing journey, you'll realize that a lot of people just take advantage of you. They'll ask for your help when they're not even doing anything to help themselves, sort of thing, you know? And you're like, well, I'm not doing all of it. Because, again, as I talk about this a lot, is if someone has their own time and they have all of your time, where do you get any time? You know, because you're putting all of yourself into that person. That person's available for themselves. So effectively, you're the one that goes without. It doesn't make sense to me. Once you start to realize that, you go, right, I need to fill my own cup. And that's a game changer.
Let that butterfly find its biggest, brightest, most glowing, beautiful wings. And if that butterfly is meant for us, it'll come back when it's meant to. Especially
Somebody you're in divine alignment. Or at least if this resonates, you are. And it feels like this picture is reminding me of like you're being cradled by the sky. You're being cradled by the sky. So it's giving like Tom Petty's Free Falling. Embrace what fate has in store for you. Because you're free falling.
Free falling, but it means the universe will catch you. So it's having that level of faith that you know it'll work out even in the middle of a storm, you know?
There is some form of spotlight coming to you, and Source is saying a couple things are coming with this, and they don't want you to lose yourself in this whirlwind, okay? Because there are things that matter. It doesn't mean that matter more than just this, you know? It doesn't mean that the spotlight is bad, or like getting recognition is bad, or having attention on you is bad, or
I get what she's saying. Don't lose yourself in the spotlight. So don't lose what got you there, if you like. People do that, don't they? They get caught up in the excitement of it all, and then they lose themselves to it all. That's not going to happen with me.
What makes
I had to skip those videos because that's my daughter. So I'm like, I don't want her in the spotlight right now.
Okay, now the world
Yeah, so this is the world changing frequency.
is changing its frequency and its vibration. It's already doing it. You know things are speeding up. Everybody knows that. Time is speeding up. Everything is speeding up. So we're getting ready to shift into a totally new dimension. We have to. The earth is got to the point where they can't do anything else to help it. We're just destroying so much here that it's going to have to be a separation to move into the new frequency. And they said the entire universe is watching. This is the greatest show on earth because it has never happened in the history of the universes before that an entire planet will make the shift at one time. But it is changing, the frequencies are changing, we're shifting already. You can feel it in your own bodies. I don't know if you
I'm actually getting huge goosebumps when she said you can feel it in your body. Believe me, the universe is telling me right
felt
now.
it yet or not. A lot of people are having physical ailments. They're going to the doctors can't find anything wrong with them because it's not anything that they've ever experienced before. They have said the doctors are using the old information that they have been taught. They are not aware of what is really happening to the bodies now. Our DNA is being changed, the vibration rate is being changed, and we are shifting with the planet. We have to. It can't happen suddenly because the body wouldn't be able to handle it. It has to happen gradually, little at a time. And when it makes these little jumps, people are experiencing physical problems. They can be heart palpitations, blood pressure, tiredness, dizziness, muscle aches and pains, lots of different things that I've heard, but when they go to the doctor, they can't find anything wrong because it's nothing physical that they can put their finger on. But our DNA is being changed, and the ETs have been helping a lot with this. We're going to be at the point where we're not going to be sick anymore. The whole earth is going to be totally different. And there's going to be many left behind because they can't change their frequency and vibration quick enough to move with it. They have to be working on it now or you're not going to move. You'll be stuck with the old earth. The ones that are deep into the negativity, they said they will be allowed to live out their lives on the old earth. But when they die, they will not come back to the new earth because the new earth will have no negativity. They will be sent to another planet that is still experiencing negativity so they can work it out. Some of them, there's just no hope for them because it's gone too far. They're too loaded down, steeped with all of these karma from past lives, and they can't get out of it. But those of you who have an idea what's happening are already making the first step to move into the new earth. So see, the one will not be aware of the other. And that's what they mean by those left behind, will not even be aware that anything has happened. The old earth is still there, vibrating at this lower frequency with all these terrible things happening to it, but the other earth moves into the new dimensions, vibrating so fast that it becomes invisible. So they are not aware anything has ever happened. Okay, now the world.
The interesting thing is, this was recorded a while ago. I don't think she exists. She's a hero person anymore. But yeah, there's a lot of things have been happening. I believe 2024 is the year for this change. So if you are not, I think if your vibration isn't ready now, when you're not a good person at your core, then I think you've lost. I think time's gone. You had the chance, because I'm hearing as well that the new wave of children have a DNA activation within them. They've got an upgrade in DNA, so they're going to have a deeper connection to spirit naturally, whereas before we had that closed off to us. But now it's activated, and I can attest that within my daughter. She had gifts. And she's told me certain things, and things have come true, things I look forward to. But as she's a child, I don't share that with people. It's just between me and her. And she's like, I told you I said that. I told you I said that. And it's like, yeah, you did.